So, one thing I've touched on in some of my videos is that people are always doing things to try to escape and avoid and deal with reality. And what that does, it seems like it's instilled in us pretty early on. And the problem with that is that, and I hate to sound cliche-ish here, but you never really know yourself when you're constantly trying to escape yourself. And so one thing I've found with semen retention is you are going to really start to learn more about yourself and what life is like when you're not when you're retaining your energy, right? And you're not looking for ways to release it. Okay. So by focusing on God and higher blessings and loving Him and honoring Him, it's going to start to change the way you see things and think about things and what you put an importance on. And you're going to notice that maybe things that were important to you before are not as important now. Okay. Obviously, with this whole hookup, dating, whatever that means, thing, that kind of just falls by the wayside because you're just not worried about it anymore. You're just not focused on that. That's the main thing, is focused. And I want to say this too, that it's not like you're totally oblivious to women, obviously, but it's just not a focus. You're not really worried about it too much, because you've got more important things to do for God. That's the way I look at it. And in doing that, like I said, you're going to start to learn more about yourself and see. You're going to start to live life in a way that you just, I've done a video about this before, childlike. Like, go back to when you were a kid. And of course, I was fortunate to grow up before cell phones and internet. And so I think back to that time where it was like you would get out and explore. You would go in the woods. I remember riding my bike in my neighborhood till it was dark, and then you had to come home. And where an old elementary school had burned down, and it was this big field, and there was still stuff from the school out in the field. And I would go right out there and just kind of explore. Like, there was old desks out there and stuff like that. And, going outside and playing street hockey with kids in the neighborhood and setting up army men I used to play army men a lot and had a little sandbox. And then my dad built me a barn, and I used to play farm because I lived on a farm when I was a kid. And so that was something I always really liked. But you're just, you're kind of exploring and creating and building. And that's the thing on semen retention, is you're going to start to just, your focus goes away from obviously sexual things and focuses more on different parts of your life that maybe you didn't realize or neglected, or God's just going to reveal stuff to you. I've talked about that on here, and other people talk about the same thing. Is you're going to start to see life in a different way and put an importance on different things. And typically, again, I would encourage you to read the Bible if you're doing semen retention, if you're just trying to start up, and just read in there and then think about your life and just how does it align with what's being said in that book. And you're going to start to know yourself. And know more about yourself. And you're going to get more comfortable in that. And that being said, and don't think now that, like, oh, well, you're going to maybe fit in more with the world and other people and all that. That's not really how this works. But you are going to get, a little more, I would say, a little more comfortable with you and yourself. And that's, knowing more about yourself and living a different way, a way you probably haven't experienced before. Well, you haven't experienced before, more than likely, if you're like 99% of the population. I was just like everyone else, a couple years ago. Now, I'd heard about all this. I wrote about it like 4 years ago, but I didn't slow down to really try and practice it and think about it and do it. But yeah, the longer you practice semen retention and you focus on God and what his plans are for you, he's going to change you. You're going to know you're going to see more of what he has in store for you. And you're going to just start to live a different way. And it'll change on the inside. It'll change at your core. I think I did a video of that not too long ago, but down below you're going to change, and you just won't be fooled or distracted by the worldly things, worldly pleasures so much. But you'll also see how so many people are using all these different things that, people have issues with today to kind of avoid reality and avoid, just maybe issues they have from their past, from childhood, talk about trauma a lot and just different sorts of things. And you're going to start to heal from those and forgive people, let go of things, move on. It's normal. That's normal stuff that you've just got to deal with. And you're better off to deal with it than try to escape using, alcohol, drugs, sex, food, spending money, escaping in movies and YouTube, too much time on YouTube, all these different things. So, just get outside and go for a walk. But anyways, semen retention, you're going to get to know yourself. And it's going to change the way you think and walk and talk. So I just wanted to get that one out there, and I hope you guys are doing well. God bless. Take care.